successful, making millions of albums, why does she have to try to prove her blackness to you? See, this is the problem. I'll tell blacks this. If you want to be successful, don't be trying to prove yourself to these bunch of dumb Negroes who want you to prove your blackness. They're going to call you a sellout because you are taking care of your business, being successful. And if the white audience wants to embrace you, what damn business is theirs? Why are you trying to please a bunch of ignorant Negroes who are not going to help you anyway because they're just like crabs in a bucket? You can't tell me nothing about black people. I know them better than anybody. I've been around them too long, and this is what they do. They tried that crap with me. I told them, you go do what to yourself? You know what I told them. You got to get past them with the name calling, with the wanting you to fail. Can't handle because white people may like you, or Latino people may like you, so all of a sudden you're a sellout. Are you freaking kidding me?
Mr. E.T. Williams, the doctor of common sense.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. RG3, you call it how you want to. Sell out, what do you call it? Corn ball? What the fuck ever, man.
Corn ball, bro. Well, that's what,
yeah. No, I mean, I know that wasn't your boy saying that. He was quoting, but here's how it is. And I've said this before on the air. American people have created this on both sides of the race spectrum. White people love to use the N-word. It's degrading. It's derogatory, and it's bullshit. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you got black people that, despite the fact they've learned the English language, and more now even than before, because there was a point in time when, black people weren't educated because white people refused to let them be educated. And that's one thing. But in this day and age, when you have Bryant Gumbels and Barack Obamas and just any number of black Americans that can speak the language perfectly because they've been well educated, there were a lot of people out there that they be talking like this right here because it differentiated them from the white man. All right, that worked for a while. But as I've said before on the air, I went to England. There were black people, white people, Indian people, Asian people, and then all of them that were born and raised in England, they all talk like this, governor. Remember? Because I said, why do I always say governor when I'm doing a British accent? And that's the way it was. Everybody sounded similar. Not dead up. There were different.
There's a lot of Indian people that grew up in, from India that grew up in Britain.
They sound exactly the same as everybody else. And the truth is, there are different dialects from different portions of the country.
Dude, we got in, near us and in one of those a bunch of dumb fucks area. We had a. No,
I'm proud of you for doing that. A bunch of dumb folks.
It's right there on Lafayette Highway. There is a store. Remember, the dog died, but they used to have a big ass dog in there, and it was an Indian family.
Well, you mean on Battlefield Parkway?
No. We're talking about down near, like right after on Lafayette Highway, after you go from Catoosa to Walker. It's right there on the left, heading north.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Now, their son, man, he grew up here, and you'll hear him. The father's like, hello, how you doing? And the son's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, yes.
And we had one in that delivery area. And I would always...
There's a store very near you. You walk in, hey, buddy, how you doing?
But there was a guy in that delivery area, and he was of that same family, and he grew up here. And I would always find his wife, who was white, ate meat on her pizza. Was a vegetarian, but he wasn't.
Nice.
You get to the door, and he had he had a 4-wheel drive. He was like a good old boy. But he was from India. That's where his family's from. He grew up here. He's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I'm like, "Damn, you got a worse Southern accent than I do."
Yeah, right.
That happened. And he was real open about it. He's like, "Well, he said, I'm eat meat." He said, grew up here. He said, "This is the culture I grew up in." So yeah, you know, there's a certain way things go,
and to defend this guy, there are distinct cultures around this world. As I've told you before, Bob, first time I went to France, I thought the McDonald's was the American embassy. I didn't know what the fuck to eat over there. You know what I mean? I was like, what is this? I ordered roast beef. This shit is pink all the way through. It's cold. You know, you learn as you go to accept different cultures. But the truth is, these cultures are different.
Oh man, I went to in 93, 94. When first time I went to, actually that's the second time I went to Jamaica. But the first time I went, you know, that was I think it was 92. I didn't go to any fast food. Okay, second time, honeymoon. Wife wants to go to Burger King in Ocho Rios. Now you
all right, no. To not to bring you down here, but just to defend your ex-wife a little bit. There are moments. All right, when I went to Italy,
no, she was all about the food. You know, we ate food there. We stayed at a very remote resort, upscale, and it the food there. You know, you get all the native food, and she was curious because there were so many things like milk. You go to Jamaica. Go to Jamaica. Milk is very fresh,
right?
And when you go to the milk section, you can open it. You can crack the top and open it because some of it is gone bad and it's not in a refrigerated area. It comes in daily.
Really?
Yes. So you know they tell you open it and smell it. And
you better smell them shits.
Man, do you know what the biggest thing that their government was tackling in 1994? How to get women to breastfeed their babies more because it would be healthier when they get older.
Because as a guy, we all appreciate breastfeeding. Just saying.
But no, we
I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to be bad, but I can only be mature for so long. You understand?
I'll tell you the difference between you were talking. We went to the Burger King. Now, you see all the cattle on this island. They're not cows like we have here, except if you go to Texas. They got longhorns. Now, guess what? They also don't have that. They're not also loaded with hormones, so they look right.
Rhymes with steers?
They're leaner than deer, man. They're big old, huge horn, very lean animals. Now, that doesn't make a very good hamburger.
Right.
But still, they try to put it together. I mean, I can give you an example. I tried to make hamburgers one time out of getting this butcher I knew to grind up filet mignon. You know what happens? It falls apart.
You're right. No fat to hold it together.
It's like the sloppy Joe without the sloppy.
So what you're saying to me? Oh my God! You should have lobbed this one up so easily. So what you're saying to me, Bob, is you ate Joe.
No.
I knew you were gay.
When you put the ketchup and the mustard and all that stuff on there, it sloppied it up. But the funniest
He's
thing,
like, no. I added ketchup and mustard and shit.
Let me tell you this.
What you're saying is Joe was sloppy.
Just in retrospect, after being married to a janitor for that long, and seeing this is funny. Our last day there, our last day before a night there, because there was a day after that. We were at the resort, and she wanted a grilled cheese. Now, remember the kind of cows I was talking about? Not the milk there that they get from cows goes into bottles. The cheese, for the majority, comes from goats.
Oh, not that kind of cheese.
No, not that. So she is munching down on this grilled cheese. Just munching down on it.
On goat cheese.
Oh yeah. And
which I happen to love. But
it's great, man. It's very
overwhelming if you eat too much at once.
Well, we'll see. That I was going to say, it's very good for you, and it is very inducive to digestion. It will make... No, seriously. It's like... Here you go, beans and all kind of stuff, but...
Go ahead. Don't let me interrupt you.
No, but she's eating, and we have this waiter. He was our bellhop waiter. I know how people there live. I know how the people there live, and they're very lucky to get into there. It's like maybe there's one family member. Because when you fly into Monterey, I'm trying to think of the name of the city you fly into, but when you fly into there, man, you see all along the hillside, right in front of the airport, wooden shacks. I mean, that spread like the area of downtown Chattanooga on the side of the hillside. Then this is where people live. So if one of your relatives can get their ass out of one of these things, out of one of these little shanties and work in a hotel, you're going to make some good bucks. Because people like me, I'm going to tip you well. And it's funny, I've always wondered, because I found out years later, because he asked me, can I have your address to write to you, Mom? Oh, sure, man.
Hey, Mom, won't you be let me get that address to write to your boy?
Yeah, but getting back with
I'll be standing down here in my shot right near the beach.
No, what they do is they say that you're part of their family, and they try to get over here with citizenship. That's a big thing. But he, so he comes up to the table, and she goes, "Oh, this is a great grilled cheese." And
everyone knows I'm your brethren. I'm going to show up at your house for Thanksgiving. Hey, boy!
So let me tell you, everything down there was fresh. The tomato, because it's a year-round growing season, man. Best watermelon I've ever ate and everything. So everything on that grilled cheese was great. She loved the cheese and everything. And she asked, "What kind of cheese is this?" She said, "That is goat cheese."
Hey, man, you're being on the goat cheese.
She almost turned green immediately without even seasickness.
Listen to me, little girl. Don't you be worrying about the goat cheese. As long as you don't got the Famunda cheese, you'll be alright, eh?
That's what she gets, though. That's what she got. I told you, we were on one of those. We were at a European resort where people can go nude and stuff. We didn't know that when we booked it. It's upscale,
we talked about that the other night. Is that the show that did not end up on the air? I can't remember.
That's right. Where we were snorkeling.
Yes.
And she came up on the moray eel, and
that's right. She hauled ass back the other way.
Yeah, I saw
came up on the British eel.
Yeah, I saw it like a little bit after she did. I was heading back, and I mean, she's literally like, I'm looking for like the disciples' boat out there. I thought she just walked on water out there to them.
Dude, look, I didn't bring this up when we talked about this at the time, but I feel you. Or I feel her in this case. When first time I went snorkeling in Key West, I'm like 6 miles off the coast. Only 90 miles from Cuba instead of 96. And I'm snorkeling along, and I look up, and there's a fucking barracuda right in my face. He and I were probably 6 feet apart.
So you got to be bleeding for a barracuda to get you.
Well, see, here's the problem.
Or you got to catch one.
At the time, I was a little more callous. I had this bright sterling silver bracelet on and my bright silver watch. And I was like, oh, man, this fucker could go crazy. So, like, I look up behind me, and I tell my boy, I'm like, get over here, there's a fucking barracuda. And about that time, I go back down underwater, and apparently all my splashing just scared him off. He's like, you can see him just gone. So I always told my wife this story. I was like, man, when I went snorkeling, I ran into a barracuda. Told my friend David this story. He and I have been all up the east and west coast of Florida snorkeling. Never saw anything bigger than like I don't know what those fish are, but like, you see these big white fish, but they're, they don't really look scary. They're just big white fish. Wife and I went to Key West, was it 2-3 years ago now? I can't remember. That was when we ended up in the whole gay pride parade and all that fun shit. But
yeah, excuses.
Hey, don't look at that rainbow flag behind me. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, so we end up snorkeling. We get out here in the water. Get right around to the very edge of the breaker, which is, for anybody that's never been to the beach, a breaker is basically a huge pile of rocks, generally man-made. Sometimes they come naturally. And this huge pile of rocks is put there to keep the waves from the ocean from smashing your ass back into the shore. We get right to the end of the breaker, and I look, and my wife's right beside me because she's